Hip-hop and basketball have been intertwined together since the genre's inception in the late 80s. They also happen to be very high interests of mine, so I decided it might be fun to combine a little bit of both and look at funny and clever NBA lines and break them down for you. So just a full disclosure for you all, for some of these I'm gonna have to put my nerd glasses on and I'm actually gonna have to analyze some of these, so it's gonna get a little nerdy up in here, so I'm just giving you a fair warning now. Now, this is probably something I'm going to do again in the future, so if you have a favorite basketball bar I didn't cover in this video, put it down in the comments and I'll be sure to put it in a part 2. And with all that out of the way, let's get right into it.
I'm trying to make it from the bottom it says, feeling as hard as Vince Carter's knee cartilage is.
So right off the bat, we got a great analogy from Earl here. He's basically comparing the wear and tear that Vince Carter suffered on his knees during his NBA career to how it felt starting out as a rapper. He's basically saying the gig's not easy.
Hood phenomenon, the LeBron rhyme.
Kanye's basically saying he's the LeBron James of rap. The song came out during LeBron's first prime, so Ye's saying he's the best in the game, and he arguably was at the time. He dropped My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Left my elbow in the pot, a la Vince Carter.
We all know that Pusha T loves himself some Diet Coke, and elbow is actually slang for a pound of Diet Coke and other substances of that nature. Push here is comparing himself to this legendary slam dunk performance by Vince Carter in the 2000s, where he put his entire arm under the hoop and he put his elbow on the rim.
I can spit 100 balls, nigga, keep it 16, no Josh Giddey.
I don't think I need to add any context here. If you just look up Josh Giddey, you'll get filled in, but for those who know, you know.
Tables turn, lesson learned, my best look. You jump sides on me, now you about to meet Westbrook. Go celebrate with your team and let victory vouch you. Just know the next game played, I might slap the shit out you.
This bar is very likely aimed at Drake, as he used something similar on Pound Cake. Kendrick is using this analogy to compare Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. As all NBA fans know, during the 2016 playoffs, the Thunder choked a 3-1 lead versus the Golden State Warriors. And during the offseason, Kevin Durant decided to make the genius move of joining the 73-9 Warriors and forever changing the course of NBA history. Westbrook, on the other hand, stayed loyal and signed a multi-year contract extension with the Thunder. Kenny is comparing Durant's decision to some flaky shit that Drake would pull, and he's basically saying he might exact some revenge on Drake the same way that Russ did when he and Durant matched up for the first time after the 2016 playoffs. And seeing how most of 2024 has played out, I think Kendrick had a point here.
All these stats on Chris and Mingle, almost what got Tristan single. If you don't ball like him or Kobe, guaranteed that bitch gonna leave you.
Anyone who follows the NBA a bit more than the casual viewer might know that Tristan Thompson gets around. He actually cheated on Kanye's former sister-in-law, Khloe Kardashian. But Khloe actually stayed with Thompson after the incident, and Kanye compares this to Kobe Bryant in 2003 when he cheated on his wife, but she stayed with him. Yeezy saying here that if you're not balling like an NBA player, she's gonna leave you.
I heard the slick shit, don't you know you Harold Miner, you know me, and you know I know you vagina. I'm MJ from the free throw and designer.
This is actually a fantastic bar by Westside Gunn that I'm going to break down in full, so nerd glasses on here. But to understand the first part of this bar, you need to understand who Harold Miner is. Miner was nicknamed Baby Jordan throughout college because of similarities he had to Mike. He had the chrome dome, he wore the same jersey, and he had some ferocious dunks in college that were similar to Mike. Miner didn't really pan out in the NBA. He suffered some knee injuries, and he only averaged about 3 points by the time he was in his 4th season. So Westside Gunn is basically saying he's the real deal. He's Michael Jordan, and his opponent is a fake, Harold Miner. But there's more to this bar. So Harold Miner actually got one last chance in the league when he was traded to the Toronto Raptors, but the trade fell through after just 4 days due to a failed physical. Many believe this is because Miner actually slipped on a slick spot on the court and he hurt his surgically repaired knee. So the line here is a double entendre, with Gunn saying he heard all the slick shit that was being said and referencing the slick spot that Harold Miner slipped on. Freddie Gibbs had a very similar bar on his latest album, You Only Die Twice.
Ghost status, these niggas, Baby Jordan, they Harold Miner. These niggas Harold Miner.
I just low-key feel bad for Harold Miner, man. Like, what the fuck did he do?
If I was an NBA player, I'd be Dylan Brooks, but worse.
First off, absolutely insane way to start your album off, and second off, Dylan Brooks actually has earned a pretty shitty reputation over the years, with the main focus being that he challenged LeBron during the 2022 playoffs, and he absolutely got his shit rocked, so this is no compliment here from Peggy at all.
When I shoot my shot, it's the Kawhi way it's going in.
This is a reference to Kawhi's insane game-winning shot during the 2019 Eastern semifinals versus the 76ers. Drake is just saying that he's a certified bucket.
Don't cross me like Isaiah, that shit be ill-advised. Cross niggas like Bubba Chuck, I never gave a fuck.
So, two different Hoops references in the same song. The first reference here is to the Bad Boy Pistons. During the late 80s and early 90s, if you mess with Isaiah Thomas, he had guys like Dennis Rodman and Bill Laimbeer who would quite literally punch you if you crossed a line. And Bubba Chuck is a nickname for Allen Iverson, and we all know that AI had an insane crossover. So Freddie is either saying that he has no fear like AI on the crossover, or he's just got a nasty crossover move.
Worry, I'm not the Mike Jordan or the Mike McCord. It's Hobie, baby, you Kobe, maybe Tracy McGrady. Matter of fact, you a Harold Miner, J.R. Ryder, washed up on marijuana. Even worse, you a Purvis Ellis, you worthless fella. You ain't no athlete, you Sean Bradley.
On this line, Jay is saying that he's the GOAT of hip-hop, comparing himself to Michael Jordan and saying that his opponent is a step down from him, first comparing him to Kobe, who was great, but he was not Mike. Then he says he's Tracy McGrady, who's a step down from Kobe, and then he just goes straight to saying he's like Harold Miner, who's like here. Then he goes straight to J.R. Ryder, who was blackballed from the league due to marijuana use. Then he says he's Purvis Ellis, who just didn't live up to his #1 overall pick status. Then finally, he compares his opponent to Sean Bradley, who had zero athleticism and for most of his NBA career was kind of garbage. So Jay just kept going down and down and down and down and down.
And I'm trying to make a living with mics like Scottie Pippen.
So we got a classic double entendre here from Reason. On this line, Reason is saying he wants to make a living through the mic, like a microphone in hip-hop, and that Scottie Pippen made a living through Mike. It's fair to point out that Scottie never won a championship or even made the finals without MJ by his side. Reason actually broke down the bar himself on Genius and basically just chalked it up to Scottie Pippen being a hater for no reason. If you managed to get this far in the video, I just want to say thank you very much. Your support, no matter how big or small, it means a lot to me. And if I didn't get to your favorite NBA bar, leave it down in the comments and I will for sure make a part 2 to this video. If you want to follow me on Twitter, the link to that is in the description. I'm pretty active on there. And as always, I'll see you on the flip side.